Why should this exist?
It should exist because the dog is part of the family, and we want to travel with our whole family and travel with them in comfort and dignity. And uh, so we've heard from all over the world that people have been looking for a solution like this. We know we felt it ourselves, but it's really great to hear it from others that they appreciate that it exists now.
And let's get into the details of the flight, because we're not talking about commercial jets here, right? These are private jets with, I think they go up to 14 seats.
Right, right. It's a Gulfstream 5, seats up to 14. We're only seating 10, so the dogs have a little bit more room. And we would love to get to our dream is what you're showing in the video there, that larger 747 and room for up to 77 passengers with the dog park on board.
Yeah,
But
so there
we
you
got to
go.
make our way there.
Yeah, it looks like you got to get some jumps in there as well. So we have to talk about the prices a little bit, because as I said, it starts at $6,000. If you want to go to London with your dog, it costs about $8,000. I was actually talking this through with Matt Miller. He's another anchor here. He found a flight to the Maldives that costs about $4,000. So this is quite expensive, and we're in a very high inflationary environment. People definitely cutting back. I mean, who is this for, theoretically?
Well, hopefully in time, it's for everyone who wants to travel with their dog. Certainly, it's starting at the most expensive that I hope, or we hope, that it will ever be. But we have to start somewhere, and at these prices, we're running pretty close to break even on it. Really trying to test the demand, see if there's demand for more routes. And if we have that demand, then we add more, hopefully more planes. We take a longer look at it. Instead of leasing one off, we lease for a longer period of time. And that allows us to bring our costs down. So not too unlike the commercial airlines, which, the economy ticket was $600 in 1980, and $1980, so about 2,300 in today dollars. And today it's about $400. So we need the time to grow into it, but this is where we have to start.
Well, how much visibility on demand do you have right now? Because my understanding is you offer once-a-week flights from New York to LA. I believe it's twice a month if you're trying to fly to London. How booked out are you?
Very, very booked out, which is really gratifying. And we've got several sold out flights throughout the summer, even though we didn't give everyone a lot of time to book. So that's great. In terms of demand or requests, let's say, in the first week, we had 15,000 requests for new destinations and routes. And we're trying to accommodate those. We've recently added Paris as a route starting in the fall, but many more to come based on those requests and the demand we've seen so far.
Have those requests tended to be more international or for more within the country?
Everywhere. Certainly within the country. I can give you a little spoiler that the dogs and people of Chicago are feeling very underserved. So we need to serve them, but really everywhere, South America, Asia, throughout Europe, everywhere. It's really good to see.
Well, it's interesting to hear your comments about demand, and also that you're close to break even, because I was reading through some of the transcript from your earnings call, and you talked about the halo effect that Bark Air has had and has the potential to have on your products. And I have to say, reading that, I was wondering, is this more of a really elaborate marketing campaign than it is a money-making venture?
No. The hope is that it's a money-making venture. The hope is that it's sustainable and it's a service we can provide for everyone who wants to travel with their dog in this way forever and ever. We don't know if we have a business yet. Right now we know we have a lot of demand, and like I said, we're breaking even on many or most of our flights that we have scheduled already. But there's a long way to go. If we get a benefit of the marketing halo and the world paying attention, we'll take that. But it's a genuine effort to build a business here.
Let's talk about some legal concerns because it's interesting. You take a look at Westchester County has sued Bark, alleging that it violates the airport use restrictions in Westchester, saying that those basically prohibit commercial and chartered aircraft with more than 9 seats from using the private jet terminal. I mean, how do you plan to navigate complaints such as that one?
Well, my understanding is we're not alone there, that there are some other air services in Westchester that fall into that same category and have ongoing litigation or a dispute with Westchester County. So we're kind of falling right in with that. Certainly we'll adhere to whatever rulings the FAA or the courts make there. But right now our sense is that won't disrupt our operations in any way.
I have another challenging question to ask you, and that is that this airline is just for dogs, and you're talking to a cat lady right now. I mean, I've actually traveled all over the country with my cat, and I mean, my natural question to you is, when is there going to be Meow Air? Why is it just dogs?
We're dog people, so we speak to the dogs, and we know the experience that we can make for them, but we have made a couple exceptions for cats. So our standing rule now is that cats are welcome so long as there's a dog in the family who will vouch for them and fly with them. But the interesting thing is we've been approached by every animal you can imagine. We've had requests for pigs, for roosters, for parrots, for snakes, for everything. So the cats have made the cut now as long as the dog is flying with them.
Snakes on a plane. I think there's a movie about that one. But let's broaden out here and talk about the business overall, because Bark Air, of course, it's part of Bark. You're known for the Bark Box and things of that nature. And it's interesting. You reported earnings recently, and the revenue forecast for fiscal 2025, I think it disappointed a lot on Wall Street. And I thought that was interesting because this is a time when plenty of pet owners are happy to spend up when it comes to their animals. So how do you turn it around? How do you capture some of that?
Well, we have turned it around. In the last two and a half years, I returned as the CEO, and we were hemorrhaging cash. And so the first thing was to stop that, or that's the end of the company right there. And we reversed that. So this past quarter was our second profitable quarter of our fiscal year. We're forecasting our first profitable year in the year ahead of us here. And I had said when I returned to the role that in order to grow the company and fulfill our mission and our dreams, we needed to slow down in order to speed up. We slowed down. We put the business on a more solid foundation. And from here, we've now brought in that talent to really drive the top line. We've turned our entire management team in the last 100 days. So we just need to give them a little bit of time to get up and running. But the horsepower is really significant. And I'm confident that we'll return to growth very quickly here.